Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 6th episode of Iohl Radio. Well, I'm here today with a new broadcaster to the addition of me and Pat. We're going to welcome in Jay Diggs to the show. Welcome, Jay Diggs. He'll be a regular here on the show from now on.
Hey, Jay Diggs.
Hey, guys. Great to be here.
Alrighty, so let's get started. We got news and announcements. We got one announcement this week. It is about the radio show. We're asking team owners to choose one player from their team. That player cannot be management. It can be the captain though. But it cannot be AGM, GM, or owner. Please choose one, send it to us, and we'll talk to them. And their job will be to write reports on their team. They'll be asked to come on the show here and there if we want them on the show. And it's just a better way of us getting in touch with your team, so we know all the stuff that's going on with your team and all the good stuff that's happening, all the stuff that we can talk about. It's just give you guys exposure.
Yeah. Here at Iohl Radio, we can make your players a star.
It ain't easy being cheesy. So let's get on to the draft. The draft recap. We're gonna start this radio show a little differently. We're gonna do a little Coach's Corner. I'm gonna give Jay Diggs 5 teams, and I'm gonna give Pat 5 teams, and I'm going to be asking the questions. So Pat's 5 teams are Detroit, Toronto, New York Rangers, Calgary, and let's give you... If my computer wants to cooperate with me today, that would be great. And we'll give you Chicago.
Okay. Well, the Rangers are headed up by Barry Pucks. And it looks like he did well picking his GMs with Meat, Top Cheese, and Huggy the Bear. And then, I don't really know Grizzly, but Sims... For his first pick as goalie is definitely a good pick.
Grizzlies ridiculous.
He got Jay Diggs on there, Fitzpatrick. These are all decent players, good players in the league, so I would give him a B for his draft. And then going to the Leafs, which is Murph's team. He's got relaxed Jay Hubs and Tequila Vanilla in his management and captain. And it looks like with his second pick, he picked Panda, I can never say his name. Pandalupagus. And, why are these guys so crazy with their Xbox names sometimes? It just drives me nuts. Okay, but anyway. Insane Woody, I haven't seen him play. I'm assuming he's a good player as they took him with their first pick. So, looking at that overall roster, I'm going to have to give them a B. Detroit Red Wings is Bill's team. And, it was Showtime, Craigsford, J. All Day, Kiefer, leading out his management captains in first pick. That's some really good players right there for a first line.
Kiefer was a draft pick.
Yeah, he was their first round draft pick. I'm not gonna really, the only thing I can see wrong with his roster is he's got a lot of room. Because he might need to pick up a few more players. So I'm gonna give him a B-. Bill, he's got 3 empty roster spots and nobody in training camp, so he needs to get on the ball a little bit. Get some training camp players in there. But B- isn't really a bad grade. It's hard to give a team an A when, you don't know how they're gonna gel. this Cush's team. What do you think about that team?
What's up?
About
That's your
Bill's
job.
team,
Who? Me?
Detroit. Yeah. You think
He's got a good squad. He's got a good core there. A lot of the guys from Nashville, a couple of the guys from Nashville are back. He's got a good squad. But on to Calgary, Pat.
Yeah, the Calgary Flames. Well, that's Cush Bomb's team, and he's rounding that out with his management and captain is Juggernaut Inkboy and New York Ranger. And then, really, he's got some pretty good draft picks. First 2 or 3 draft picks are really good guys. Gucci, Timmy, Theus, and Gizzard, all really good players. Rounding it out, he picked up some defensemen. So I'm going to have to give him a B grade on that team, too. I can't really give anybody a bad grade yet because I haven't really seen anybody play that much, you know. And then who else? The Blackhawks?
Yeah, the Blackhawks.
Blackhawks. Yeah, good luck, Chuck. With Shen as his GM. No AGM, and that's kind of strange. And then Kane is his captain. With Grabner, Prime Kings, and B-Ball Freak as his first 3 picks.
Well, I don't know if you want to talk about this, but their AGM actually got traded.
Okay, so he got traded, so
He got traded
there's
to
already
Detroit.
some...
Crosby.
Okay. Yeah, there's already some movement in the works there, so we'll go ahead and give Good Luck Chuck a B- along with Bill, as they're still kind of trying to get their team straightened out. I'm sure they'll be up to a B+ or A grade shortly, though. And that's my picks.
Alright.
Or that's my coverage of my pick, the teams that you picked for me, mother effer. Woo!
That was Pat's draft report, draft recap. And now we're going to go on with Jay Diggs. Jay Diggs is going to start off with Florida. What do you think of Florida?
Well, I used to be part of the Florida Panthers. He was old team of Montreal Canadiens. And the owner's Angry Pirate. You got your GM is Mupp, and your assistant GM is Ovechkin, and the good old captain Gut Punch. In the first round, they took Viz, and that was no surprise. He's an awesome player. He cycles the puck quite a bit. And they got Paradox skills, picked up Penrose, and then Crab Cakes. And then, later on in the draft, they picked up an awesome goalie, so they got Esquay. Nighthawk is pretty much, like, it's going to solidify the actual first lineup. After that, I mean, I would probably say you have an A. A for Florida.
A for Florida, and an interesting pick. Anaheim tried to pick Gut Punch in the draft, and we started the whole hashtag not Gut Punch deal of the live broadcast. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, can't get a Gut Punch. But what's really interesting about Florida, though, is they already started their training camp, but they only have about $2.2 million left for cap, and they have 1 spot remaining. So we'll see who fills that spot.
Alrighty, on to we got New York now. New York Islanders.
The good New York Islanders here. What can I say good about the New York Islanders? They got Strome, you got Pat, you got Super Trooper, so I gotta say nice things. But they're in good company. They got great first round picks. I mean, you got Kopitar, you got Kovalchuk, Big Air is a big name too as well. You guys picked up as well, Super Big Plazin. He's a good player. So I mean, I would probably say you guys are looking at about a B+. You got some room to fill, and you guys look like you're gonna have a good start ahead of you.
Let's see here. I believe we have our next team for you will be San Jose.
San Jose. So it's owner's Rainbow Treasure. You got your GM's Filthy One. You got Mr. Fashion and the Dementor. The Dementor, he is literally lives up to his name for sure. The first round picks, I mean, I'm not familiar with them, but Luke Gelk, Nash, I played a few drop-in games with them. They're solid all the way around. They still have a little bit more depth, a couple sleepers in King Legacy. Some player positions that are empty, and they got about 4.5 cap remaining, so they're going to probably fill those spots up quite quickly. I'd probably give them about a B+.
A B+. Alright, so we have the Anaheim Ducks Hashtag the Anaheim Penguins.
Well, the owner's Dapos. You got GM's Berg, Iggy. Iggy's the Norris Trophy winner, so they're good company with defense. Calvin's Mixons, and of course they picked hard first round. You got Robert King and Tank, two big players. Going down the depth of the line, you've got Dope of Dopeness.
Don't forget Michael D. Michael D's Ghost.
Oh, that's right. There you go.
XLZ is Ghost is Michael D 71.
I hear he's coming back to take over the league with defense. His offensive, defensive capabilities should be very strong.
Oh, he's insane on the blue line. I always hate playing against him.
He won most of the trophies last season, although for some weird reason that he didn't. It was changed, and then it wasn't changed. I couldn't follow it all, but yeah, he won the scoring for goals scored and points, didn't he, Trooper?
Yeah, he was doing all that great stuff. He was playing really well.
Really good player.
All right, continue, J Diggs.
Oh, I give Anaheim an A+. They're a force to be reckoned with.
Alrighty, on to the next and final team, I believe. Yeah, Winnipeg. Last but not least.
So you got the hands of the gods. Hockey Gods is the owner, and you got Eberle, Snatch, and Warrior as his management staff. I mean, first round picks up Jay Mitch, fills his roster completely all the way full right to the end. So he's got a lot of depth. He's got Joski, he's got Rump Ranger, he's got Ryan Nova from a trade, I believe. So
there's another one of those crazy names. Oh, sorry,
Rump Ranger. Rump Ranger.
Screws me up. Yeah, it screws me up.
I think a rump shaker when I hear that. But you got Man versus Pancake. He's a sleeper. He's good. Again, depth all the way down. Every position is filled, and he's got some filling on the training camp. So I'd give it up to Winnipeg. I'd say A.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna draft recap finished. It seems like Anaheim got the best grade. So it seems like you guys think that Anaheim did the best in the draft. Or at least Jay Diggs feels that way. So let's get on with the show here. We're gonna do our season 2 preview, team by team. We'll give you the predictions on point leaders for each team. We're not gonna do it the same way we did the draft. We're gonna do it a little bit differently. Each player, both Pat and Jay Diggs are gonna get their chance. So let's get this started. First off, Florida. Who's gonna be leading? Where do you think they'll finish in the standings?
Hopefully behind New York. I mean, they have a powerhouse team. It's a lot of depth. I mean, you're looking at Gut Punch. You're looking at Animal Mup on defense. Both of those guys can score all day. I would probably say you're looking at either first or second in their division.
Pat.
Yeah, I mean, they got the scoring. Gut Punch was definitely dangerous last year. Good goalie. So I'd have to, I think they're going to be a good force to be reckoned with in their conference. I would say a top playoff appearance is destined for that team.
Alrighty, so let's get to our player predictions, individual predictions on this team. Who do you think is going to be leading this team in goals, points, assists, goaltending stats? We got a lot of great candidates here.
Yeah.
For Florida, I'd probably say Gut Punch leads in goals. Viz will lead in assists. Of course, Esquire will lead in goalie wins. And I would say Penrose for hits.
I'll second that.
Alrighty, so we got Gut Punch, we got Viz, and we got Eskai and Penrose as the leaders.
The Animal Mutt might come in and score more goals than Gut Punch. That should be pretty interesting to see if they're going to play on the same line or different lines.
That'll be interesting. On to New York Rangers. New York Rangers. What do you think? What do you think's going to happen with the New York Rangers? We'll start off with Pat.
Well, now Barry Pucks is definitely going to be scoring some goals with Mitachi. I know those guys play club together, so there's some instant chemistry there too. They have a great goalie with Simps. I haven't seen Grizzly play, so I'm not real familiar.
Grizzly's nasty. Grizzly's nasty.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to be leading that team in goals, in my opinion. Grizzly's ridiculous.
Him and Barry, it'll be interesting to see who scores more goals between the two of them, for sure. What about assists, J-Dig? So what do you think about assists? Who's going to lead this team with assists or hits?
I think, for assist-wise, I think you're looking at, are you kidding me? No, are you kidding me? He's going to lead probably for good assists. So, but I think, you know what, Convict and Fitzpatrick, while playing with these two guys, defensive core that we have right now, I'm going to say that I'm going to be out hit left, right, and center. No longer the leading hitter. So I'm going to say Convict's going to be leading hitter.
So we got from Pat, we got Barry, goals, assists. Assists. I'm going to give the Huggy the Bear. Huggy's probably going to get the assist on that league and the points. And Grizzly could be up there with the goals too. Goaltending, Simps. We all know Simps is a Vezina winner. Fitzpatrick could very well lead them in hits too. Alright, on to Toronto. Let's get the show on the road, Toronto.
So I don't know. I'd say Murph does everything. So I mean, it's hard. I mean, you're looking at everything from him. So I mean, like hits, goals, and assists. But I'd probably say goals, Murph. Probably assists. You're looking at Yzerman, and I have no idea for hits. It's a big hitting team.
I think Panadolopoulos is. I can't say this guy's name ever.
Just call him Panda. Just call him Panda.
Panadolopoulos.
Just call him.
No, it's like Snuffleupagus, right, from Sesame Street.
I know. Just call him Panda. Just call him Panda.
Panadolopoulos. Now I get him to think Snuffleupagus first, and then I can say it. Now listen, but I don't know. I think he might get some pretty strong hitting number. Now Jay Diggs led the league last season in hits with 130. Did you guys know that?
I knew that.
Yeah.
Oh,
the defensemen like us talking about hits because we always talk about assists.
Pat, I'm sorry for interrupting you, but we forgot to place New York Rangers.
That's not hard, guys. You guys
New York
place.
Rangers. I've got to give them a playoff appearance for sure. I'm just going to say whether they're making the playoffs or not. I don't know what place they're going to come in. It's hard for me to really pick that kind of a thing. You figure three teams are going to make the playoffs. Toronto, I don't know. They might have to get it together, come together as a team and play really hard. They might make it, but I'm not sure they will.
Right,
but I think New York will.
Their goaltender is Kiprusoff, I believe. Their goaltender. Yeah, they picked him off. Billy Gillies, their goaltender too.
No, I think Billy Gillies is their defenseman.
Billy Gillies, is a defenseman. Billy Gillies, he's a good player. Kiprusoff, they picked him off free agency. They put a $2 million bid on Kiprusoff, so they definitely really wanted him.
They have a lot of cap room.
They have a ton load of cap room. So Murph's doing a good job of his finances. So Toronto, what do we think? Toronto, I think, will be a tough playoff battle. I think I hate to say this about Murph's team because I love Murph to death, but I think they'll just miss the playoffs. I would love for them to prove me wrong, but I think they just missed the playoffs.
I hope that if they do make the playoffs, they don't play anything like the real Leafs in the playoffs.
I think they're just gonna get in the playoffs. Really, I think they're gonna have a lot of chemistry in the first couple weeks, and they're gonna slide in, just slide in. But they're gonna be a playoff berth.
All right, on to Detroit. Let's try to get this show going. Detroit. I mean, we have the most respected we have the most respected owner in probably all the leagues he's been in. Bill Showtime is another well-respected GM. He doesn't take crap. You have AGM and their captain Iohl and Craig Zoller. What do you think, Pat?
Yeah, I mean, Bill's a great owner, and he made some really good picks with this team. Showtime, Craig Zoller, Iohl, Kiefer. Skipping over somebody, going to Groggy, Valentinko, right down the line. He's got a real good list of players there. I'm saying they're going to make the playoffs.
Alright, J Diggs. Let's not remember that this team struggled in preseason. Just remember that. This team struggled in preseason.
Preseason's preseason though. I mean, you don't always show all your cards in preseason. You got Valentinko sitting on the point, hungry for a goal. I mean, they're gonna cycle a lot. They're gonna learn to cycle. They're gonna learn to work as a team. Plus, he's got 3 more spots open with cap. So, I mean, they're a deadly team. I think they're gonna make the playoffs too. How far they're gonna go is up to them, but they have a really good chance of making the playoffs.
Individual stats.
Valentinko definitely hits. Possibly goals.
Yeah, I know. It might be goals too. That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah, you're gonna have Showtime and Bill. I mean, they're contenders for assists and goals as well too. AOW Kiefer too.
Yeah, definitely.
Be interesting how Crosby plays into effect in Detroit. He's a solid player.
Yeah, Crosby's definitely a solid player. You can't look over him. He was a trade pickup. He was that interesting little fiasco we had there. Islanders, I'm going to give this one to J Diggs. Yes.
Good old Islanders. Well, I think Kopitar's your goalie, so he's going to win in goalie, and goalie wins. Like Big Air. Strome's probably going to do, you're looking at goals. Super Troopa with hits. And I'd say Pat for assists.
That's interesting picks. What do you think the Islanders are going to finish?
They're not going to be dead last. They're going to make the playoffs. I think you guys are going to go far.
Alright, so let's move on to San Jose. San Jose is probably one of my favorite GMs of the league. Somebody I like very, very much. Filthy one. Is their GM. So let's get this started. Pat, we'll have you start his.
The only players that I really know on this team, out of Rainbow Treasure, I don't really know him. Filthy, I met briefly in an Iohl fun room. Seemed like a nice guy. Didn't get to play with him. And Mystification and Dementor, I don't really know them either. I know Citizen Erased is a really good goalie and a defenseman. And I know Lethal Protege is a real steady player, but other than that, I'm not sure about this team. These are all there's a lot of new players there, so.
Diggs.
A lot of new players, man. I played with a few Rainbow Treasure, Filthy one, Dimentor. He's a big player. You probably see him getting a lot of hits and getting a lot of possible assists as well too. One guy that looks really surprising is actually GNG Slayer. That guy right there down there on the training camp, you'll be getting him called up, and he's going to be playing. He's going to be impact role for that team. just making the playoffs. Just squeaking in.
Just squeaking in. We got Anaheim, who's at the best draft grade in the draft recap. We'll talk about Anaheim. Diggs.
Powerhouse team. Literally, right across the board. We got Iggy, you got Robert Kingpin, you got Tank, you got the Ghost, Dope with Dopeness, and you got Storm and Noob Soap. I mean, it's a crapshoot who's going to be the top goal scorer. It's going to be a crapshoot who gets assists. I mean, you can go Robert Kingpin, you can go Dope with Dopeness, you can go the Ghost for goals. Hits, I would probably say Iggy. Assists, I'm going to go to Tank. And goals is a tie between Ghost, Dope with Dopeness, and Robert Kingpin.
Yeah, definitely. Iggy and MX and S, who was 54, is definitely a dangerous combination of scoring. And then you got Tank as their center, and Dose of Dopeness. You know, these guys are going to be dangerous if they can hold it together in their locker room. Definitely.
Standings?
I'm going to say that they'll make the playoffs in their conference. For sure.
I say conference finals for them.
Alright, we got Chicago Blackhawks. We'll start off with Pat, since we played with Chuck before.
Good luck, Chuck, and Shen, and Kane is the captain. No AGM because of, I guess, a trade or something. And he's got a lot of room when you go down to the bottom of his team for movement. So I can see he's working on things there. I'm also not familiar. I've seen Beast Mode in other leagues, and he seems like he's good. MLG Doughty seems like a late pick. It might help him out. And,
My MLG Doughty, isn't that Ryan Stanton of the Rockford Ice Hogs?
Potentially.
He has a Stanley Cup ring with the Chicago Blackhawks, the actual Chicago Blackhawks, because he was on their roster.
That's what I've heard. You know, I don't know if that's verified, but sure.
It'd be interesting if we can get him to post a picture of the cup or something. Oh, well, Diggs.
Great team looking in coming into the preseason. I don't know how much they look coming out of preseason right now. I mean, 4 empty spots, and a ton of cap room. A couple key trades happening and a couple of releases impending soon. Prime Kings is a great player. You're looking at Good Luck Chuck as well too. Kane, Beast Mode. I had to say I think they're gonna miss the playoffs.
Ooh.
There's
our first prediction. There's our first prediction of missing the playoffs.
I might agree with that, but Chuck might be able to pull it out if he can work some magic there. So
it's chemistry.
I hope he can. Yeah.
It comes down to chemistry. It's a winning team. It's gotta work together. So I mean, Good Luck Chuck is an awesome guy. He can pull it together. It's just he's gonna get the right players back in there, and he can do it.
Alright, so we got the last two teams. Well, Winnipeg Jets.
Hold on. I just wanted to tell Chuck, since we played on the same team last team, good luck. Good luck, Chuck.
Winnipeg Jets. What do you think is going to happen with them?
Off the bat, conference finals. We got Hockey Gods, Jay Mitch, Joski, trade for Ryan Nova. He's good as well too. Man versus Pancake. Yeah, he's solid too as well.
Eberle is a solid scorer. Joski's a good player. I'm gonna say conference finals also.
Great chemistry. I mean, playing with a lot of these guys and drop-ins, you move the puck around nicely. They got a great atmosphere, especially in the chat too. So, I mean, it's gonna be a killer team.
Any individual stats you guys want to talk about?
I'm gonna say Man versus Pancake's gonna lead them in assists, coming down to their 7th pick of the draft, though. You know what I'm saying? That just shows you how deep this team is.
Alright, so
How about goals? Anybody?
goals, I think, to be honest with you, I think, well, it's either going to be Man versus Pancake. I've seen him score a couple goals lately when I played with him in, like, drop-in games and stuff. It could be him, or it honestly could be Herbalife or Warrior. Or the Snatch. For Christ. But, on to the last but not least team. Very popular owner. Cushbaum put together a decent team here. So what are you guys' predictions for the Calgary Flames?
I love that, for one thing, I just gotta tell you right off the bat, that Cush and Flames go together. I mean, that's a perfect match for his team pick. And then, Gucci Mane and Timotheus play on the same club, I know, for a long time. They're gonna have some instant chemistry, forwards. And then, you know, Ink Boy and Juggernaut, Rangers, all, good picks for him as the GMs and captain. M. Daly's a steady defenseman back there. I'm gonna have to go with Gucci Mane for their offensive leader in goals, though, and Timotheus in assists.
Who are you thinking for the hits?
Daly.
Yeah, maybe Daly. Or, Ink Boy. You know, he had 41 hits last year, so.
Gucci make a hit though. I'd say Gucci Man for hits.
Gucci Man, alright. Standings.
I'm gonna say they're gonna make the conference finals in their conference.
Diggs.
They're a great contender for conference finals, but it depends on who they play for the semifinals. I'd probably say semifinal, exit.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright, so that was it for our draft recap. We got a couple great predictions here. Hopefully, we'll see if they come true this season. And so let's talk a little bit about the games that we have on tonight. We have Calgary versus Anaheim. That should be a pretty good matchup. We have San Jose versus Winnipeg. That'll be interesting to see. You see the San Jose Sharks, a brand new team, a lot of new players. Chicago versus Detroit. The New York Rangers are going to face Toronto. That will be an interesting matchup as well. New York Islanders versus the reigning Stanley Cup champions, Florida Panthers. That'll be interesting to see. Anaheim versus San Jose. Then we got Winnipeg. These are 11-15 games. Winnipeg versus Chicago. Calgary's going to be facing the Rangers. Toronto's going to be facing the Panthers. And the Islanders are going to be facing Detroit. So these are all great matchups tonight. We're seeing
what a great lineup of matchups for the opening night of the season. I'm so excited! Woo! Sorry, it makes me excited, man. It's the first night of the season. Oh man.
We're all very excited for the opening day. Owners, get at me with those correspondents names. Players, ask your owners. Or if they don't care, just tell me that you're the correspondent. But definitely, we're doing a lot more with the show over the week, over the time, over the day, the weeks to come. And we hope to see you there. We might be doing some live broadcasts if we can figure out how to do that. So I might be switching back to the live broadcast. That was a lot of fun.
That was craziness, dude. That was straight up. It was fun, but it was craziness, and I couldn't even follow the chat box. You had to be like the Flash, not the Flash guy that is the pervert. The guy that's like the superhero. To read that all them chat is so
okay,
fast.
Pat, I think we know who the Flash is.
Not me.
Alright. Thanks for tuning in. We'd like to welcome Jay Diggs to the radio show again.
Welcome, Jay Diggs.
Thanks, guys.
There'll be a lot more stuff, giveaways, sweepstakes, stuff like that. If you want to be a special guest, please contact one of us. We'll see what we can do. Next week I'm going to try to get either Nikki C or Gucci Mane to come on the show. But thanks for tuning in. Good luck to all the teams, and I can't wait to start.
Good luck, guys. Have a great season. And no talking.